KZN Government of Provincial Unity says it no longer has confidence in Premier Thami Ntuli. The National Freedom Party, through its President Ivan Barnes, issued a statement over the weekend saying it believes the province should now be led by the uMkhonto weSizwe party. Let's get some perspective on this now. Bring in Zakhele Ndlovu, political analyst and political science lecturer with the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Good to have you on the program this evening, sir. So you've got the statement coming from the leader of the NFP saying they've lost confidence in the Premier Thami Ntuli and ultimately would like to see the province led by the MKP. But in the hours after that, we've had two statements, one from the caucus in the KZN legislature and from the youth movement saying the opposite. So is this a genuine threat to the stability of the GPU?
Well, at this point, it appears that it poses a threat. But let's just remember that if the NFP does end up withdrawing from the provincial government of unity, then what happens is that the government of KwaZulu-Natal will collapse. Now, the question is, the MKP, the uMkhonto weSizwe party, which won 45% of the votes, has 47 seats. Now, the NFP only has one. So, and then they would need 3 more seats to form a government. And they don't have the numbers because the EFF, which is the other opposition in KwaZulu-Natal, holds 2 seats. So that makes it 40. And then they would need 1 more because remember that the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial legislature is made up of 80 seats. So to form a government, you need to have control of 41 seats. And the MK party, the NFP and the EFF together cannot have enough seats to form a government.
So would the other parties in council then be easy to convince that the MKP is the best hope for the people of KwaZulu-Natal right now?
Look, the MKP won the majority of votes, but not enough to form a government or what we call an outright majority. So the other parties in the legislature, which are the ANC, the IFP, and the DA, it doesn't look like any of them would want to join the MKP to form a government. Remember that the IFP, the ANC, and the DA have an arrangement at the national level, which is the GNU. And I don't think that it would be possible for any of them to join forces with the MKP and the new national party.
But how united then is the NFP, especially at leadership level, behind this loss of confidence in the government of provincial unity? Because when you look at the statement from the youth movement, they say, in fact, the statement issued by Ivan Barnes, the leader of the party, was unilateral, unconstitutional, and politically reckless.
Yeah, so that is the interesting part. What it does is that it exposes divisions within the NFP. So clearly there is not consensus within the NFP to withdraw from the provincial government. So which means that right now the public is going to be left confused because the leader of the party issues one statement and then the youth movement contradicts the leader of the party. And of course, the caucus of the party. So they are not speaking with one voice, which is a problem. And it makes it difficult for Mr. Barnes, who is the leader of the party, to withdraw because other members or other structures of the party are not in agreement with him.
And why are the structures, Mr. Ndlovu, of the National Freedom Party so divided? What is at the heart of it?
Look, there have been divisions within the structures of the NFP, especially since the passing away of its founder, that is Kamagwaza Msibi. So there have been divisions. Look, what is happening here is that if you look at all political parties, especially the top ones, there are divisions, but somehow they manage to make sure that these divisions don't get out of control. But now, in the case of the NFP, we can see that there are serious divisions. And I think to answer your question, at the heart of these divisions is that some people in the NFP are afraid to lose their jobs, because if the government of KwaZulu-Natal collapses, it means that some people will lose jobs, and there's no guarantee, as I indicated earlier on, that there will be a formation of a new government under the control of the MK party, which does not have enough numbers to form a government in KwaZulu-Natal.
Does that mean that the ANC, the IFP, and others who are part of the current government of provincial unity should not take the NFP seriously? But even for the MKP, how reliable, if indeed they're looking to the NFP to be a partner in forming an alternative government somewhere down the line, how reliable a partner can the National Freedom Party be when its leaders are pulling in different directions?
Yeah, so clearly they cannot be relied on, because it doesn't look like they know what they are doing at this point. Especially, I think Mr. Barnes should have consulted with the structures of the party before he made the announcement. But clearly, I mean, a party that cannot speak with one voice cannot be relied upon, cannot be trusted. So right now, I'm sure the IFP, the ANC, and the DA are worried about what is going to come next if the partner that they have is not speaking with one voice and is not sure of what its direction is at this point.
Just briefly, do you think this is going to backfire for Ivan Barnes in particular in the long run? What could be the personal consequence here if indeed he's misread the political dynamic in his own party in deciding to go with the MKP?
Look, what's going to happen is that should the NFP hold its elective conference, it doesn't stand a good chance of retaining his position as the leader of the party, because it's clear at this point that there are some people within his structures who are unhappy about his leadership. The fact that they are contradicting in public speaks to the fact that there's a certain degree of unhappiness within the NFP.
Zakhele Ndlovu, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. Political analyst, also a political science lecturer with the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you for your time.